Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here, and today we're going to be exploring the question of can you shoot down the Banshees on Sierra 117? So, as you know, during this part of the mission, near the beginning, a couple Banshees will fly in and shoot down these Pelicans, and they pretty much fly in and then swoop down. Some of you have probably tried to hijack those Banshees, but probably realize you can't. So the question is, can they be shot down, or are they just, scripted to follow a certain path and, just disappear? And are pretty much, unmovable objects other than what they're scripted to do. Well, what we've tried is we try to stun it with a plasma pistol, as you saw there. But even if you stun it with a plasma pistol, it doesn't affect it. So how can we shoot it down? Well, let's find out. Now, I got two other people to help me for a total of three people. One on the machine gun turret, one with the plasma pistol, and one just some random weapon. So here we have the plasma pistol shot firing at it. And if you look very closely, we're playing in slow motion. It does hit the Banshee. It does not stun down or knock down the Banshee, but it does take the shields off the pilot of the Banshee, if you look closely. Now the Banshee still does its scripted path and everything. It's still flying straight. It's like unfazed by the plasma pistol shot. It still fires its Banshee bomb to shoot the Pelicans. But using a brute shot combined with the machine gun turret, after like constantly unloading on it, we finally managed to kill the driver. And the Banshee just drops down.
Negative. We're going down.
So, there you have it in a nutshell. Yes, you can shoot down the Banshees. However, what's interesting is once you shoot them down, the Banshee, it's you can't pilot it. And the canopy of the Banshee is still closed, as if there was still a pilot in it. Another interesting thing is that this Banshee is also indestructible. But other than that, it is just a normal Banshee. Now, I'm not sure if it's the way the cowbells go on or anything, but it seems like this Banshee is a lot easier to, flip around and push around. But, other than that, I don't think there's anything else unique about these Banshees. Now, one challenge I'd like to give you guys that we were unable to do successfully. But actually, before I mention what that challenge is, I just want to point out that even though this looked pretty simple to do, this actually took us like hundreds of tries to finally shoot the Banshee down. And we had to do this on a heroic difficulty because the machine gun turret and the brute shots, they only spawn on that difficulty. And legendary as well, but there's no point in doing legendary, it just makes it harder. But yeah, so it took us like an hour of just like constant reverting of checkpoints. And we kept hearing the same dialogue, like the same pilots screaming and everything. The whole Banshees fast and low, like over and over again. And it was like just it was driving us insane, Because like we heard it like 100 times, like over and over again. And now it's like it's like haunting us forever. But anyway, so what we're trying to do here now is we're just trying to push the Banshee ahead to see like if we can, somehow get it to the very end and mess with the cutscene like we did on Tasava Highway with the Phantom. So we'll do that right now. But while we do that, I do want to point out that flipping the Banshee is probably not the best way to push it. Either meleeing it or shooting with like an assault rifle or plasma rifle is just the fastest way to push it around. It actually just like slides around like that. But anyways, the challenge I mentioned earlier is while we were able to shoot down the Banshee, we could not shoot it down before it fired the Banshee bomb at the Pelican. And that is actually one question we've wanted to explore, is can you save the Pelicans? Or what happens if you shoot the Banshees down before they fire the Banshee bombs? Now my theory is that most likely the Pelicans are scripted to do exactly like what happens. But regardless of whether the Banshees hit it or not. But who knows? I mean, they could be waiting for the Banshees to trigger that scripted action. So if the Banshees never fire the Banshee bombs at it, then who knows? Maybe you can save the Pelicans. But we've been unable to do that, and quite frankly, we got a little tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. So we challenge you guys to give it a try, and if you guys succeed, send me a message or post it in comments and let me know. I'll be very impressed if you can do it, and I'd like to see what happens myself. But anyway, so our little experiment here to push the Banshee ahead, I can tell you it was a failure. We Once we push it here, there's this invisible loading point here where if you hit it, the Banshee will just despawn. However, that's not the end of the whole story. Sure, you can't get the Banshee any further, but for other tricksters or glitchers out there, you could possibly use the Banshee to launch you to much higher places that you normally can't reach on this mission. You don't have to push it ahead either. You can maybe push it backwards to somewhere earlier in the mission, and perhaps use the Banshee to launch you forward. We haven't, fully tried it yet, but if anybody else wants to try that, you might be able to get some pretty cool results with Banshee launching. I'm not the We're not the best at like launching with these kind of vehicles, but some other people out there might be much better, and who knows, you could find this Banshee to be pretty useful to use because it is indestructible, so you don't even need the tilt go on to launch, and you can pretty much reuse the Banshee over and over again, and it'll never blow up. But yeah, so those are my two challenges to you guys. And if any of you guys want to, help me with it, in person, I might be willing to try it again. If you guys, are either good at Banshee launching, or if you think you might be able to have an idea of how to take the Banshees down before they fire the Banshee bombs, then just let me know in the comments, or message me somewhere somehow. Um, I'm definitely curious about this. I wish I could have tackled the other two questions as well, but for now, all we could tackle was whether we can shoot the Banshees down or not, and yes, we can shoot them down. So I hope you guys did find this to be interesting and insightful, and I hope you guys were up to the challenge. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, and leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments, of course. And if you haven't already, like I always say, make sure to subscribe, because we've got a lot of other cool things coming out soon, and we got a huge backlog of videos. So definitely subscribe, and we can't wait to share those videos with you soon. And we'll see you guys next time.